The Epstein scandal just went international. In the past 72 hours, a Norwegian ambassador has resigned. A corruption investigation has been opened into a former prime minister who once ran the Nobel Peace Prize committee. Norway's crown princess has publicly apologized. And in the UK, a top advisor to Prime Minister Keir Starmer has stepped down. All of them connected to one man, Jeffrey Epstein. The files released by the DOJ aren't just exposing Americans. They're bringing down some of the most powerful people in Europe. And this is just the beginning. I'm James Hartwell. This is Unsealed. Let's start with Norway. On Sunday, Mona Juul, Norway's ambassador to Jordan and Iraq, officially resigned. She had been suspended just days earlier after the Epstein files revealed something stunning. Jeffrey Epstein left $10 million in his will to her children. Juul isn't just any diplomat. She was one of the key architects of the Oslo Accords, the landmark Israeli-Palestinian peace agreement of the 1990s. Her husband, Terje Ruud Larsen, ran a New York-based think tank that received funding from the Norwegian government. Now, Norway's Economic Crimes Unit has opened a corruption investigation into both of them. Foreign Minister Espen Barth Eide didn't hold back. He called Juul's contact with Epstein a serious lapse in judgment and said her resignation was correct and necessary. But here's the question no one is answering. Why would Jeffrey Epstein leave $10 million to the children of a Norwegian diplomat? What did he expect in return? But Juul isn't the only prominent Norwegian caught in this scandal. Crown Princess Mette-Marit, wife of the heir to the Norwegian throne, issued a public apology on Friday. She said she was sorry to all of you whom I have disappointed after the files revealed more details about her relationship with Epstein. She claims she didn't know about his crimes at the time, but the apology has done little to quiet the criticism. And then there's Thorbjørn Jagland, Norway's former prime minister and the man who once chaired the committee that awards the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, that Nobel Peace Prize. Norway's Economic Crimes Unit has now opened a corruption investigation into him over his ties to Epstein. His lawyer says he'll cooperate. Think about that for a moment. The man who decided who got the Nobel Peace Prize was taking meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. Now let's cross the North Sea to the United Kingdom. On Saturday, Morgan McSweeney, Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Director of Communications, resigned. The reason? He advised Starmer to appoint Peter Mandelson as Britain's ambassador to the United States, despite knowing that Mandelson had ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Mandelson, a former cabinet minister under Tony Blair, visited Epstein's private island and met with him multiple times. When Starmer appointed him anyway, the backlash was immediate. Now, Starmer himself is facing calls to resign. Critics say he knew about Mandelson's Epstein connections and went ahead with the appointment regardless. This is the pattern we keep seeing. People in power knew who Epstein was. They knew what he was accused of, and they stayed connected to him anyway, because he was useful. Here's what's becoming clear. Epstein didn't just collect powerful Americans. He collected powerful people everywhere. Diplomats, royalty, prime ministers, Nobel Prize committee chairs. And he didn't do it for fun. He did it because access is currency. And apparently, it was worth at least $10 million to keep a Norwegian diplomat's family close. The DOJ says no one else will be prosecuted, but the political fallout is just beginning. These files aren't going away, and neither are the questions. Who else took money from Epstein? Who else visited the island? And what did they give him in return? Europe is finding out the hard way. You can't hide from the Epstein files. Norway, the UK, and this is just the first week. The Epstein files contain 3 million pages. We've barely scratched the surface. If you want to follow this story as it unfolds, the resignations, the investigations, the names that haven't been revealed yet, subscribe to Unsealed because these files were sealed for a reason, and now everyone is finding out why.